Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, all of you? Okay, great. So, thank you so much that we are meeting today to take forward the prelim crash course. Before we start, as already the agenda has been sent to you via WhatsApp as well as in your email ID, that today is the orientation class and followed by the Indian polity. Just to introduce myself, my name is Shankar Ray. I'm the founder and chief mentor of RAYACADEMY. So I will request you to now mute yourself. Uh, Kindly unmute when you want to ask any question, so that we can have a very smooth kind of journey today. Now, anyways, so the reason, yes, good evening. Okay, very great, great. So such a very fantastic to interact with all of you, and I can see that many of you are beginners, many of you are first attempt for this UPSC or maybe your respective examination, civil services examination. The purpose of introduction is that as you are going to spend time, so you also get to know each other. It's better to have some friends in the class, uh, but at the same time it also helped me to understand uh, from where we should start. So let us focus first. Let me talk about this crash course specifically, and what is the objective of this crash course, and what uh, is the expectations from the crash course you should have. Couple of things you have to understand. Many of the aspirants among you are the first timer, and there are a couple of you who have already given the examination. But I am sure whether you are a beginner or maybe a expert in those categories, I'm sure that you have at least seen the question paper. You have at least at least reviewed those previous year question paper. Okay. If anybody has not done it, I will kindly advise you that once the class is completed, the question papers are easily available in the UPSC or maybe your respective website. Just have a look into it, okay? So that it will give you an idea as to what should be your preparation. First of all, let me set up today's agenda, today's class, and what we are going to cover in this today's class. First, I will talk about in the orientation process. I will talk specifically on the prelims preparation strategy. What should be your the upcoming 3 to 4 months approach in order to clear the exam. And next, the remaining time, I will start with the Indian polity. So as far as the subject is concerned, I uh, will be taking your Indian polity. So I am a faculty also, expert in the political science and international relations optional subject, and also I'll be taking your economics part, because during my time I used to have two optional subject. One is political science and economics, and there are different faculties who are going to take your, let's say, geography, history. Different faculty will be taking your different classes, and the faculty who are also going to take, they themselves have cleared the examination. They have gone through the stages of the examination. They have faced interview, and they have experience in teaching. So that is the quality of teacher who are going to teach you, so that you get the best out of it. You get the latest trained of the examination, because they themselves have been into the examination process, and they know what kind of pattern of the questions that are generally being asked in this examination. So in the orientation, let us focus and try to understand this preliminary crash course. Try to understand this preliminary crash course specifically to make you aware, number one, And number two, to give you some sort of guidance, to give you some sort of path as to how your preparation should be so that you clear the examination as shortest as possible. Okay. I never claim that I will guarantee your success, because success is something. Clearing the examination is, if you can be honest, it purely depends on you in particular. So I am just a person. I will act as a mentor to you, all of you. I can show you the window. I can show you the door through which you should prepare. The major. Let me focus on the problems first. Especially the problem is faced by the beginners. The syllabus. If you see the prelim syllabus, you have like uh, important events of national and international. Generally, you say is current affairs. Then you have Indian polity, governance. You have economics. You have geography. You have environment and ecology. You have science and technology. Okay, and you have history. You have art, architecture, and culture. Those are the subject, but if you go in depth, like for example Indian polity, there are so many chapters you have to learn. If you talk about the history, you have to learn ancient history, medieval history, modern Indian history. If you talk about the geography, then Indian geography, world geography, environment and ecology, so and so forth, and exclusively the current affairs of last 1 year. So the amount of information, the amount of knowledge which you should have is also, it's like a wave. Okay. The problem what happens in case of aspirants, so they succumb to the information. There are so much of information which you have to know for the examination, but somehow you lost your way, that how should you gather the information, number one, and how to implement that information in case of a question asked. There are two things you have to understand. One type of preparation is to just mug up those information. Okay, let's say in which year Olympic next Olympic is going to happen, who is going to host. Those are the questions generally in the civil services examination are not asked. The reason is they are the questions which you may face in the banking and SSC. If somebody is preparing, that's okay. So that is not our preparation module. You have to understand the civil services examination, its approach. Here you will get questions which are more of a issue related. Here you will get questions which are more of a analytical and application based. Okay, let me ask you a simple question to make you aware that what I am trying to say. Simple question is that, is right to privacy a fundamental right? Okay, one thing I want to tell you also. See, keep it aside all those questions. Yeah. Do you know that what is the biggest fear in life? Can somebody tell me what is the biggest fear in life? Okay, that is a good way to put. That what is the biggest fear in life is the fear to fail. Yeah. So we have a fear to fail. We think that no, I might not crack the examination. We think that no, I am not prepared for it. We think that it's not only specific to examination, though we are in a class, so I am referring to the examination. It is in every perspective of your life, be it your personal or professional or any of your part of your life. So, you know, fear to fail. Believe me, and this is the worst kind of fear you have. The more you have this kind of concept of fear to fail, it will hold you back to do something new, to try something new. So in the examination also, you may think that no, I am not prepared. I might be failed. So my simple advice to all of you, that how much depth the river is, how can you know? You have to jump into the river. Then you know how to swim. Then you know how to cross the river. That is the only thing which I have believed in myself in my entire career also. I would also suggest you to take this small advice that never have the kind of concept that fear to fail. So what if you fail? It's okay. There is nothing kind of a big which is going to happen in your life. It's okay to fail. So that is also one thing which I would like to tell in this class, that this is the opportunity where you do a lot of mistakes, and I encourage mistakes. I encourage failure. Now this is the class where I will never judge you that how much knowledge do you have based on how well you answer. If you answer well, that does not mean that you have good knowledge. Or if you do not answer, that does not mean that you do not know. It's okay. We are never judgmental on that. But why I'm encouraging to answer the questions, because it will also help you in two things. Number one, it will build your confidence, because there are so many unknown people for the first time you are meeting with each other. And when you speak in front of many people, that will also boost you automatically the confidence level. Number two, it will help you in your interview preparation. I hope that all of you clear this examination, and I wish that you also face the interview. But in the interview also, there are so many, when I faced my interview, I still recall there are so many unknown faces, and they try to make me comfortable, and they asked a couple of different types of questions, and I had to answer that. So if I would be not confident on that, how can I be answered? So my simple advice that you participate in this kind of questions, because the crash course is not meant to me as a teaching as one, but it will be like an interaction. And generally my classes, not only this crash course, already there are political science optional classes and another GS class is going on. So this is my way of teaching, that I always interact with the students, so that it's not only the monotonous, rather you also get a kind of two-way. Keeping aside, let me come back to the original question which I just asked, that is right to privacy a fundamental right? If you have any answer which is a bit of different from Amir, yes, and try to understand. Look at this question. This question looks so simple, that is right to privacy a fundamental right? But sometimes when we try to answer this simple question, there is a saying that common things are not sometimes not common, or commons are uncommon. So this is also one of the question. So the answer is yes, right to privacy is a fundamental right, but it is intrusive fundamental right. There are two kinds of fundamental right. One is exclusive or extrusive, and another one is intrusive. Intrusive is that which is not explicitly written in the Constitution. And this right to privacy as a fundamental right, that comes under Article 21 of Constitution, that is right to life and personal liberty. Okay. And this right to privacy, it is not told by the government, neither it is written in the Constitution. It is held by the Supreme Court of India in the case dealt related to the background of the LGBTQ category. We will talk about it when I will teach you the fundamental rights, those chapters. I will make you go through all these aspects. So now the point which I want to tell you by giving this example is very simple, that if you have only factual information, that might not be sufficient to clear the prelims exam. So factual informations are fine, but what is the uh, you know requirement for this prelims examination is to have clarity of information, is to have clarity of concept. If you read some chapter from any of the book, you should not only read superficially. Okay, you should read line by line, word by word. So this examination, it's not only the one subject, it's all the subject. How much clarity do you have? That only matters a lot. Okay, that's great. So far this is the perspective, and related to the crash course and our plan for the crash course. In the 3 months of the time period, you have the schedule. You know how many numbers of classes will be there, and also there are certain classes which are test series discussions. You also have the test series discussion. The test, I think, probably it will be held on I guess Wednesday or so. I think March 3, day after tomorrow, I guess. And one is on the Saturday. So two tests per week you have. So the idea is that you give that test rigorously. I'm telling you again and again. Uh, you know, I have seen sometimes aspirants, they think that no, once the test is completed, so I will just go through the question paper and okay, I will go through the answer keys and that is sufficient. So my dear, these are not sufficient for your examination. you know you have to feel what exactly the examination looks like. You have to be in that pressure environment. you know when you sit for the examination, you will not usually get a comfortable AC room. Your examination hall will be, let's say, in the school. So that is not so much of comfortable, but yes, it's manageable. And also you have a lot of pressure. And what is the pressure? That you have to complete within that stipulated time period. You have to give your answers best so that you qualify the examination. So that is the kind of a pressure succumbed environment, and you should always feel for that. And that is the reason why I always tell you that never ever miss the test series in real time. Always give the test series, because you know uh, getting the feedback, getting the PDF copy of the question paper and answer keys is easy. Okay, you can get it from anywhere. On anyways, we will also be sending you through the email separately. But when you give the examination in that particular time period, of your respective exam, so it will also make you succumb to be in one environment, that is examination environment. So this is the perspective. I will always encourage you that you do not miss the test series. Now the plan is related to the classes. See what happens, like for example, the Indian polity class, there are four classes are scheduled. Okay. For geography, there are four classes are scheduled, and one class will be like 1.5 hour to 2 hour in the range of the classes. So uh, what is your expectations from the preliminary examination, especially this crash course? That here the crash course does not mean we will go to in detail. Okay, in detail classes are anyways not possible because of this time constraint. But why I am here? I am here to help you and to support you, to guide you in each subject. Okay, in each, let's say, chapter of the subject. Let's say I'm taking Indian polity. Let's say I'm taking the chapter called as part 3 of Indian Constitution, fundamental right. Then I will tell you that yes, these are the articles which are most important, and I will also briefly touch upon those articles. Later on, what I am expecting from all of you, you, once the classes are completed, you get a perspective that yes, this is the most important area where I have to focus more. So once the classes are completed, and also there are certain other faculties, you get the mentorship from them. So you do the self studies rigorously. Here self studies will be matter a lot. We are here to show you a path or way in which you should walk. And the more you revise, the more self studies you do, that will be much more beneficial. Number one. Number two, self studies along with the feedback. And what is the feedback? Is the test series mechanism. Okay, whatever you read in your book or maybe any of the references, you should also test your knowledge, that yes, how much your knowledge is relevant for the kind of questions that might be asked in your examination. Okay, so that kind of perspective you should have, and that you should expect from this crash course. Now if you want to ask anything, anybody who wants to ask anything, please ask. Let us continue ahead uh, as to what should be your strategy for your prelims examination. I do not know that how far you have made your plan for this examination. See, the examination dates are, uh, I assume you are having exam in June, and some of other aspirants might have exam in those bracket. So, what should be your strategy as of now? For the beginners, and also those who have you know who have been preparing, I would suggest all of you that this is not the time to read anything new. Okay, this is already March, so you hardly have like a 3 or 4 or 5 4 months, I guess, maximum 3 months maximum. So this is not the time to read something new subject. No, this is not the time. What you should focus more: number one, revision; number two, practice. Okay, generally aspirants, they do have a tendency uh, to acquire more knowledge. They think that I have missed it, so I might cover it. I feel it is going to hardly help you out. So what you should focus more on to revise multiple times what you have covered so far. But if you have not started your preparation at all, I assume that you might have gone through some of the books or some of NCRTs. But let's say if you have not started any preparation, if you have not started reading any book, then perhaps you have very less time, and you should more focus on quickly go through those standard books and those current affairs where maximum questions might appear. So is there anyone who uh, have not started the preparation in any way, who is absolute beginner? Okay, Kajal. So okay, Amandev. Okay, okay. Anyways, no problem. That is not an issue. Okay, okay. Anyways. So I'll just I will okay. I will try to make up considering all of you, those who are beginner or at least those who have started. So I am assuming that if you have, yes, I have understood. Uh, those who are, I assume all of you are beginner. Okay, I assume that. Uh, what is my advice now? As I can see, many of you are absolute beginner who have not yet started anything. Pick up a book. We have four core subjects. What are those four core subjects? Indian polity, geography, and history. These are the major core subject, three core subject, and economics is somehow core plus dynamic. So what should be your strategy first? You have very less time, and frankly speaking, it is very difficult to complete the syllabus. I do not want to discourage you. Okay, that is not my opinion. I just want to show you, uh, you know, the reality. So that is what you should be also ready to face it. Now, what you should do for this time being, that you should take up one subject and you try to complete it within the less time period as you can. Let's say you are starting with Indian polity. To clear the prelim examination, you have multiple books for the Indian polity. You may note it down, okay, if you want. Uh, like one of the popular book is Indian Lakshmikant, Indian polity by Lakshmikant. So this Indian polity by Lakshmikant book, it will surely help you to clear the prelim examination. I assume 95 to 98% of the question you will be getting from this particular book. You will be able to solve it. But at the same time, there are some of the very good other books, like for example, D.D. Basu, Subhas Kashyap, then you have like Dr. B.L. Fadia. See, those books are bit of for advanced person. Let's say you are preparing for a 1 year time period, or especially you are a student of political science optional, then you should choose those books. But I assume all of you are okay. Just to know, how many of you are here whose optional is political science? Okay, three. Okay, okay, okay. Political science optional. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. Got to know. And are you following the M. Lakshmikant book? I mean, I'm asking to all of you. Are you following M. Lakshmikant book? Have you purchased any book so far? M. Lakshmikant. And anybody who Lakshmikant. Good. Anybody who is following Didi Basu or some other books? Okay. Okay. I see. I see. Okay. Great. So, anyways, a simple piece of advice to all of you in terms of book, because there are multiple times I have seen that Students, they have a tendency to switch book. They think that one book is better than other. Please do not misunderstand that concept. If you have already purchased M Lakshmikant, stick to that. If you have been already following the DD Basu, stick to that. Do not switch from one book to another book thinking that it might be better. It is not a better from one, it is not comparable I'm talking about. And this is also not the time to switch. Okay, stick to one book. If you have purchased any book, stick to that. Or if you have not purchased at all, then to clear the prelims, M Lakshmikant would be a good book to go ahead. And in addition to that, I will also advise you people to, I assume that all of you are using smartphone. So there is an application called as Constitution of India. There is also a good book. It's like a, I should be, let me just show you. Have you, this is like a one book. I think it's a mirror image. So it's by PM Bakshi, the Constitution of India. This is the book, this is meant for only, it's like a handbook. Okay, this is the all the articles written. This is only for the reference purpose. If you happen to read some article, so quickly you can go. But uh, if you have this book, that's okay. If you do not have, no need to purchase. You can just download one application, Constitution of India. That will be sufficient. Then as I told you, for Indian polity, for Indian history, you have like basic NCRTs, and also traditional books. Then for geography also you have like basic NCRTs and GC Leong. Okay, that would be helpful for you. For economics, you have like Ramesh Singh and other books, and especially the NCRTs. But Ramesh Singh might not help you so far for the prelims examination. So what I would advise you, that stick to the NCRT. If you have not started at all, read 11th and 12th class micro and macro in NCRT. You might consider to read a book. There is a famous book by Indian Economy by Sanjeev Verma. Actually, Sanjeev Verma was my teacher. He happens to be a teacher in Bajiram also, but unfortunately he is no more. Uh, he wrote a very fantastic book, Indian Economic, by Sanjeev Verma. Okay, very tiny book, so quickly you just can go through it. So these are the some standard books. Okay, for Indian polity there is a standard. For geography, yes, yes, Abhijit, yes, Sanjeev Verma, Sanjeev Verma. Okay, because see, Indian economy, there are a couple of like Dattan Sundaram, there is a book. Ramesh Singh, there is a book, but they are bulky. Okay, they are also meant for the mains examination. So I doubt that you will be able to complete it. You won't be able to complete the entire book of Indian economy by Ramesh Singh, or the Dattan Sundaram, Uma Kapila. There are some good books, but I'm just telling you from the prelims perspective, keeping in mind. Okay, so this is the my focus. And history already like Bipin Chandra, India struggle for independence, though that would be sufficient. NCRT books also, okay, Ramila Thapa. So those books you consider, try to read it. And geography, as I told you, that try to read the NCRT, that will be sufficient, along with the Jishi Leong. Plus, you have like map and other things. There is a separate geography teacher. He will be also telling you, the guidance specifically for the geography. So I'll be giving you the guidance specifically on the Indian polity and the Indian economy, especially economics. Okay. So that is how my advice to all of you, just to who are absolute beginner or who have just started, that sorry, stick to your plan, and you know do not jump from one book to another book, and do not read multiple subject in one day. You should not read, let's say, history, geography, economics, polity in one day. See, if you do that, ultimately the problem will be you will end up with understanding nothing. So what would be my advice is that stick to one book. Let's say you read Indian polity continuously for 1 week. You read then geography continuously for 1 week. This will give you more edge and more understanding of the concept. Remember, this examination is not of how much factual information you can remember. It is all about how well you have understood those concepts. If you mug up, that might not be helpful for the civil service exam point of view. Okay. So far this much, and yeah, I forgot to tell you one of the important part, that current affairs. So the last 1 year current affairs would be much more helpful for you. Last 1 year. Let's assume April 2020, okay, till let's say May 2021. So current affairs is must. You should not avoid at any cost those current affairs. You should read. You do have current affairs classes that will be, just before the closing of your batch. One faculty will take your current affairs classes and will try to cover the whole year of current affairs. Will give you a perspective, but you must read all those current affairs. So that is the overall preparation of the prelims examination. Immediately, I'm talking about. Okay, targeting the 2021. So immediately, number one, just to conclude and summarize how to prepare for this prelims, those who are immediately for this 2021. Number one, focus more on the revision part, and at least if you are absolute beginner, pick up a standard book, one book. Do not read multiple books. Read only one book. Revise multiple times. That is the right approach. And second point is related to current affairs is absolutely necessary. And third point which I would like to highlight, that solve test series as much as you can. Okay, why I'm telling you, you might not be able to cover the syllabus in terms of reading the books or maybe material, but you will definitely be able to cover a lot of stuffs if you happen to give the test series. And there is a way of giving the test series. I will tell you later on, not now immediately. So not only not only give the test series, but also try to analyze. Let's say there is a question and there are four options A, B, C, D. If option A is correct, then why it is correct? If option B, C, D are wrong, then why it is wrong? So you should try to analyze those perspectives. And why I'm telling you, because option A is correct, it itself will be a mini topic. So is the case for B, C, D, they themselves are mini topics. Okay, so you will be able to extend your knowledge and horizon simultaneously. So that would I would always advise that giving the test series is okay, but if you do not revise those test series, if you do not analyze those test series, it is not sufficient that yes, you give the test series and you know the answer, but why the BCD are wrong, you should also equally know it. So that kind of analysis you must have. And in this class course, that is what we are going to focus. So in this class course, we are not going to focus merely on the static part. Rather, my approach to all of you is that I will take up a topic especially, and I will try to explain the relevant issues surrounding those particular topic, and which all will help you for the prelims examination. Number one. Number two, I will try to clear the basic concepts of those topics inside one subject, especially for the Indian polity and economics. And number three, in the test series of the respective teachers will be taking your test series. So for the Indian polity and the economics, I am going to take off your test series live discussion. In the live discussion, yes, yes, in the live discussion, what are you going to get, that it's not already you have the answer keys. So telling you the answers is not my point. What I will rather focus on, I will focus on the analytical part. I will tell you that if answer A is correct, why it is correct, and if answer B, C, D are wrong, then why it is wrong. So that would be the outcome which you can expect in your live discussion of the test series. Okay. So that's the overall orientation for your kind of a crash course, uh, what you are going to get out of it. And I'm sure that if you kindly follow this simple advice, it will be immensely important for all of you. And the probability of clearing this examination, your preliminary examination, will be higher. So as I told you in the beginning, that I will never guarantee that you will clear this examination. That is not in my hand. As a mentor, as a teacher, as a faculty, I can only show you the path, the best path, which I have gone through myself while clearing the preliminary examination, mains examination 3 times, which other faculty have gone through themselves by clearing the stages of examination, and which I have seen myself clearing the aspirants, those who have qualified for this examination, only my own students. So those advice and my own experience I'll be sharing with you in the classes. Now, if you want to ask anything from the points which I have discussed, please ask. Feel free to ask. I'm not a tiger. I will eat you. No. Any kind of questions if you want to ask from this perspective? Any doubt do you have? Mm. See, I will try to speak in Hindi. Excuse me, my Hindi is not might not be good as you because I come from Odisha, but I will try to speak in Hindi. Okay, so okay, that will be good so that it is helpful for all of the aspirants. Specifically for the CSAT, that is General Studies Paper 2, Civil Services Aptitude Test. Uh, if you read the syllabus, you will get to know what is the syllabus says. 10th level, okay, 10th standard of your aptitude and reasoning kind of. Next is a comprehension, that is English comprehension. Try to understand one thing. You need 33 percentage to clear the CSAT. That means let's say 200 marks, 33 percentage means 66. So I assume it is 67 or most in a positive side. Let's say it is 70. So you need to achieve minimum 70 marks to qualify. And remember, CSAT is equally important because if you do not clear the CSAT, your GS paper will not be evaluated. So now, if you want to ask that how to prepare for CSAT, I would suggest you there are some standard books like I think there is. See, if you are very strong in your mathematical part, focus on that more. If you are very strong, if you happen to be from the humanity background, if you are not that much strong in mathematics but you are strong in comprehension, so probably you should focus more on that. I'm not saying that you should ignore. I'm telling you that comparatively focus. So if you, let's say if you are from humanity background, you are not very good in the mathematics, you should have a best bare minimum mathematics, but you should focus more on the comprehension. Your target should be that you will be able to answer all of the questions from the comprehension. In addition, at least from the mathematical question which are easier, you will be able to answer. And same is the case for vice versa. Those who are very much comfortable in the mathematics but they are not very comfortable in the comprehension, because see, when you read the comprehension, uh, let's say you are reading a passage. So the passage which you will be getting in the CSAT paper, it is not like a 10th class passage. No, the passage would be more of a current affairs. I would again advise you to go through the previous year question paper so that to get to know what kind of passages they ask. Uh, that is the approach which I would advise, especially CSAT preparation. Just focus on your strength, be it comprehension or maybe your mathematical abilities section. And there are various standard books. I think as per my knowledge is concerned, there is one book by Aryan publication which one I consider as a good book. But if you think any good book from any other sources, please follow that. You no need to follow what I am saying. If you feel that there is any good book comparatively better, kindly do that. Yes, if anybody somebody message that wants to ask question, please. Alok, you have 100% chance to qualify the exam. That's what I'm saying. uh, you have 100% chance of qualifying the exam. Remember, okay, I will come to you. Okay, let me first answer what Alok is trying to make out of it. See, Alok, it is okay to be nervous. Remember the beginning point which I told you, that the biggest fear in life is fear to fail. Okay, if you feel that yes, I will fail, then everything is gone. You have to have the confidence, number one. Number two, uh, overconfidence also kills. Okay, if we feel that yes, I am overconfident and I will definitely clear this exam, that is not going to happen. Which means, with confident, you should put the hard work and the effort in order to qualify the exam. As you have already told that you have a bit of background but your knowledge might not be polished. Okay, you might not be updated. So it doesn't matter from which background do you belong, whether you belong to a state or vernacular background or English background, it does not matter. And number one. Number two, see, I myself is from vernacular medium. Okay, and I have gone through those situations which I can understand clearly. But frankly speaking, put your hard work and smart studies is what is the need of the hour. Okay, it's not only the hard work but also the smart studies. Hard work in terms of dedication, that yes, I have to give, let's say, 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hour, whatever may be, that yes, I'm committed to give that much of time. Number two, smart studies. That means you should not read everything. You should focus only, those important areas from where question might appear. That we will cover in the subject. When I will start the subject, I will talk about the specific areas. Okay. And Abhijit, your question was that NCERT books, 11th and 12th class NCERT books, is it sufficient for economics? So, frankly speaking, it is not sufficient. Okay. And if it is not sufficient, then what you should do? Number one, as I told you, this NCERT books will build your foundation. It will give you a perspective. Let's say you will get to know what is microeconomics, what is macroeconomics, how the GDP is calculated, what is GNP, okay, what is national income, what is per capita income. Those perspective you will be getting. But at the same time, remember, questions generally do not be asked from these core areas. Economics questions are more dynamic in nature. That means you need to have a bit of advanced knowledge in those dynamic sections. Okay, so but you might not be having time and energy sufficiently to cover everything in the economics. So for the time being, what you should do, read those NCRTs. If you have read it, well. If you have not, it's okay. So you can start again. And if you have already read the NCRTs, it is good idea to go for the Indian Lakshmika. Sorry, what is that? Ramesh Singh book of the Indian economy. That might help you. Focus more on current updates, budget, economic survey. Those things should be your focus. And majority of the, like, let's for example, economic reforms, economic schemes. Those are the areas from where you get a lot of questions in your economics section, because Indian polity, the history and the geography are, you can assume, more static. Economics is something which is, let's say, 30% static and 70% dynamic. So you get more questions from dynamic portions. Now, so far I have discussed with you the overall strategy for the prelims examination. And as I told you, the specific teacher will discuss you the specific strategy for the subject. Let's say, once the orientation is completed, I will specifically talk about the Indian polity. And there are a couple of things also I want to tell you apart from this, study. Okay. See, one more information. If somebody is facing problem in viewing, no need to worry about it. We will upload these classes in the YouTube. Okay, we have a private group, so you'll be getting all those recorded sessions in the YouTube. So later on, if you have any kind of, if you want to revise it, it will be helpful for you. Great. Now, yeah, I was talking about, apart from those reading, what else do you have, or what else is required? The number one important uh, point which I want to tell you is the body clock. BODY clock. Do you know what is body clock? Any idea what is body clock? Okay. Anyways, see, body clock uh, is basically the time of ourselves. Let me give you one simple example. Normally in the morning, what we do, we have like multiple alarm. Today we are energized that yes, we will start preparing, and we set up our alarm, let's say at 5 a.m. in the morning. We also have doubt on ourselves that we might not be able to wake up. So we put another alarm at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Next 6 a.m. Next 6:30. And you know that each time either we do snooze or maybe skip. That is generally what we do in the morning. Number one. Number two point, there are also many aspirants who love to read in the night. Night in the sense, let's say till 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. Anybody who love to read in the night? At what time? 2:30. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so please, I have huge respect for all of them, but I have a simple advice to all of you. See, your examination will be in the morning. Okay, your examination will be in the morning. You know how our body behave. How our body behave? Let's say I usually wake up at, let's say, 8 a.m. in the morning. If tomorrow I want to wake up at 6 a.m., it will be difficult for me. Yes. But if I force myself to wake up at 6 a.m., I might not feel good. Second day, I force myself to wake up at 6 a.m. I might not feel good. If I try to continue do and wake up at 6 a.m. and I force myself, let's say for 4 days or 5 days continuously, then my body will be automatically habituated with 6 a.m. in the morning. That is what I mean to say body clock. Why? Uh, Let me plan accordingly. So that is what is called as body clock. Try to maintain it. It will be very good for you. Or at least, if not immediately, but try to do it at least 1 month before or 1.5 months before. Okay. Well, let me give you another, important piece of advice, also relevant to this particular question. I assume that your general studies paper is 200 marks. Now, if you talk about UPSC, the normal cutoff is, let's say, uh, assume 108, 105. It depends. But to be in a safer side, let's take 120. To be in a safer side, that means sure shot you will qualify the prelim. One of the mistake which is usually done by the aspirant, that they, it's not only UPSC, all the aspirants, that if you try to uh, answer 200 marks out of 200, you are doing wrong. Do not target to score 200 out of 200. In fact, I assume nobody can, because the question pattern of the UPSC or the other civil service examination, when they set up the question, there is a easy, medium, difficulty. So certain questions will be very easy to clear, certain questions will be moderate, and couple of few questions are very difficult. So your target should be to clear the cutoff, not to score 200 out of 200. Now the question which you just asked, that sometimes it has been seen that they ask questions, let's say 2 years old or 3 years old. So sometimes it's not humanly possible for one aspirant to cover last 2 years or 3 years of current affairs. It's not humanly also sometimes possible. So the best possible approach to confine yourself to clear the cutoff mark, so that at least you clear this prelim exam. Now, if you target to know each and everything, that might not be a good idea. So that would be my piece of advice. But yeah, if you want to just have a look at what are the most important, current affairs, what happened, let's say few of the current affairs you select of previous year, let's say 2019 or 18, you may go through it, but sometimes it is very difficult, for one aspirant to clear the to read all the subjects, then go through the 2 to 3 years of current affairs. Sometimes it is very difficult. So that is my advice, that do not target for 200, at least target for clearing the cutoff mark. That is how is the smart studies all about. The point. See, every serious aspirant, they will be able to get 98 or 96 or 100 marks. Every serious aspirant, I'm telling you. Okay, but you have to focus on those additional 8 to 10 marks. See, easy questions, moderate questions are manageable by the serious aspirants, but those difficult questions, at least you have to catch up some of the difficult questions in order to clear those cutoff. Now, if you want an honest answer, especially that whether you should continue writing mains answer I think it is not a good idea to continue for the time being. The reason I asked you also is related to specific question that whether you have cleared the prelims in previously. Because see, now is your time to focus 100% on your prelims examination. Because the problem what happens, if prelims is like a gate, sometimes it is very frustrated, my dear. Okay, and I have been telling you from my experience and talking with many of the aspirants. When I was also a teacher in Delhi, some of the other institutions, there are so many aspirants who prepare very well throughout the year, but they do very good in the answer writing, but sometimes they miss the prelim chance. So I think you should not miss the prelim chance. And I would have said yes if it is the month of January or February. As it is the month of March, I think your 100% focus should be only on the prelims exam so that you should not miss any chance. Well, enough time is depends. The word enough, that depends on the aspirant. Okay, because after the prelims examination, you have hardly 2.5 to 3 months of time. So this 2.5 to 3 months time, it depends on the aspirants whether it is enough or whether it is not. It will be enough if you have already prepared for this mains examination well ahead of time, and it is not enough if you are preparing fresh. Okay. Now, just one last piece of advice to all of you, that I assume that all of you are, might be full time preparing for the examination, and I also equally appreciate and respect to those aspirants who are working. It's okay, no problem. Okay, but one thing I just want to tell you to everyone, that this is the time of smart studies, and how to do the smart studies unless and until you organize yourself. And how can you organize yourself? You can organize only by doing a planner. Planner is like a timetable. Remember in your school days, you used to make a timetable. Let's say Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday. You have to write down like 9 to 10 a.m., 10 to 11 a.m. So you used to do the things in your school days. So I would also advise you to do the same. uh, Timetable will vary from person to person. I do not know your time, so you are the best judge of yourself. Try to develop the time planner or the timeline. Have a consistency, and it is not only the developing the timetable. The most important part is the commitment, that yes, if you are really committed for the examination, you have to devote sufficient amount of time. Let's say 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hour, as maximum as you can. I'm not saying as minimum, as maximum as you can. So try to devote maximum time out of it. And you should be in the fever. Okay, examinations should not be taken casually. Examinations should be taken seriously, and this is the time of seriousness. You should be absolute 100% serious towards the examination. Have a timetable. Stay fresh, stay healthy. Talk to your friends, talk to your parents, talk to your family members, to keep your mind fresh. And also your physical health. Sometimes this examination, it is also drainage of your energy. Sometimes you may feel drained, and also because of this temperature soaring. So I would also advise you to keep some physical exercise, maybe a evening walk or morning walk, whatever you are doing, it's okay. So this will also make your blood circulating, and it will also help your brain to gain more knowledge. And before we end to this orientation stage, I would also like to highlight that make a practice that whatever you read throughout the day, you have a revision during the night. That means before you go to bed. Okay. So what I used to do during my preparation, I have seen also this small advice is helpful for other aspirants. That before you go to bed, I used to uh, take a paper, white paper and pen. I used to try to remember what I have learned throughout the day. I will write in the bullet point. Okay, this is the point, Indian polity. This is the Indian history. In the Indian history, I have learned about, let's say, Jainism and Buddhism. What are the main important point of Jainism? What are the main important point of Buddhism? How Jainism and Buddhism are different from each other? Okay, so this is just an approach, and it will help you to retain the information more for a long period of time. So this is definitely going to help you. Try to do it, and I think those small advice, and it's like a baby steps. It will definitely help you to at least getting the probability of clearing the examination as a much closer as you can think. Okay, good to go, all of you. Yes, can you see the screen? The questions. Okay, I think any other aspirants, are you able to see the screen? Okay, now please follow with me with this particular preliminary questions. I just want to tell you that what kind of questions you might expect. As I told you that I have not started the Indian polity. I just want to make sure that you first know what kind of questions you may expect in the examination. Then we will come to the Indian polity chapter specific. Now, in this particular thing, I have 10 questions. Okay, starting from yes. Okay, I think it might be for internet issue. Other students, are you able to see the screen? Yes, I think others are observing. Please kindly check your internet connection once. Okay, so I would encourage all of you to participate in this discussion. I have 10 number of questions here, which are exactly the questions that are being asked in the examination. So it's okay if you do not know the answer, and try to participate at least. As I told you that my objective is not to test how much knowledge you have. My objective is not to know whether you know the answer or not. I just want to show you that pattern of the examination or pattern of the types of question which you will be facing in the examination. So the first question is, in India, separation of judiciary from the executive is enjoyed by option A, the preamble of the constitution, option B, a directive principle of state policy, option C, the seventh schedule, and option D, the conventional practice. If you can see the question, please answer. What is your answer? Try to participate all. Okay, you want to say that this is the answer. Answer D. Okay, one is answer D. Other aspirants, try to answer, please. It will help you to come out. Okay, the question is, in India, separation of judiciary from the executive is enjoyed by option A, the preamble of the constitution, option B, a directive principle of state policy, option C, the seventh schedule, option D, the conventional practice. Somebody is saying B. Okay. Okay, no problem, no problem. Other aspirants, I can see there are so many students. Please try to answer. It's okay if you are wrong. Nobody is here to judge you. B, okay, and okay, and other aspirants, quickly. We have 10 questions to cover today. Yes, B, okay. From women, I can see Priya, Kajal, other students. Okay, okay. Any other? Madhuspita, Antara. Okay. In India, separation of judiciary from executive is enjoyed by, understand, separation of judiciary. Please follow me if you are not able to, see it. Separation of judiciary from the. Am I audible now? Yes. Yes. Okay. Separation of judiciary from the executive is enjoyed by. Try to understand first. Before you go to the answer, let us first understand this question. What it is asking? It is asking for separation of judiciary. From which? From the executive. That means you have to understand we have what is the administrative. This is the administrative structure of government. We have three wings. One is executive, another one is legislature, another one is judiciary. Try to understand. Executive is responsible to implement the law. And who is executive? We have union and state. At union, it is prime minister plus council of minister. At state, it is chief minister plus council of minister. They are called as executive. What about legislature? At union, we have parliament. At state, we have state legislature. Can you tell me the same thing for judiciary? For center, it is Supreme Court. And for the state, okay. Try to understand. Okay, try to understand one important point here. See, it is very wrong to say judiciary is federal. Try to understand. This is very important. Majority of the students they do wrong. Judiciary is not federal. That means Supreme Court is not of union and high courts are not of state. Remember this point. Judiciary is integrated. Judiciary is integrated. When I will teach you the chapter, I will cover this particular topic. Why I am telling you it is integrated? It's primarily, see, one high court jurisdictions will be extended to various other states as well, like Guwahati High Court. Okay. So, what is the question? The question is about separation of the judiciary. That means this question is coming from the reference of the topic is separation of the power. Separation of power. SOP. Okay. In the separation of power, you have Article 50. So it is generally Article 50 which says that the judiciary is separate from executive. And Article 50 is a part of directive principle of state policies. That means what is the correct answer? Answer is B. Did you understand the concept? Yes. See, you can see what is my approach. My approach is not to tell you the question and directly come to the answer. You can easily get it. But in order to answer this question, you have to understand the concept and the background of this particular question. Okay. Now, as today is the first class, it's okay. We will try to complete it in the upcoming classes. Now, next question. Follow up with the next question. I'm just highlighting it. Next question is, a parliamentary system of government is one in which all political parties, that means option A, all political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. Option B, the government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. Option C, the government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. Option D, the government is chosen by the parliament but cannot be removed by it before completion of a fixed term. If you can see the question, kindly answer. Yes? B. Okay. Any other answer? C. Why C? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Other students, please try to participate. Answer B. You are saying that the government to the parliament and can be removed by it. Yes. Other students. Anyways, try to understand this question. A parliamentary system of government. So first thing first, read the question carefully. It is saying parliamentary system of government. That means first it is giving importance to what? Parliament. And specifically it is talking about the legislature. Next, all political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. The answer is no. Not all the political parties are represented. Okay. We will come to B. Correct answer is B. But let's just skip the B and I will try to explain the other. Then I will come to B. Option C is the government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. The answer is no. It cannot be removed by them. Okay. First of all, the government is elected by the people. Answer is correct. But can they be removed by the people? Answer is no. Okay. Now, after 5 years, they automatically get, the completion is there. But that doesn't mean that, yes, yes. So the word of removal is not appropriate here. First of all, we do not have referendum in India. This is the practice of referendum. Referendum means if you elect someone, you can also remove the person. So this is also not correct option. What about answer D? The government is chosen by the parliament but cannot be removed by it before the completion of a fixed. This is also wrong. Why? Because it can be removed. It can be removed before the completion of a fixed term. Let's say generally the government is elected for the 5 years. Generally, okay, 5 years. Why the option B is correct? The government is responsible to the parliament. Why? Try to understand. You know what is the process? First, the member of parliament will be elected, and the majority party will form government in what? In Lok Sabha, not Rajya Sabha. That means you have to prove majority in Lok Sabha, which means majority of the party. Try to understand. First of all, the government is responsible to parliament. Yes, they are responsible to the parliament because in the parliament they have to prove the majority. And can they be removed by the parliament? Yes. How? By introducing a no confidence motion. No confidence motion. What is the confidence? Confidence means you have a confidence that you have majority. What about no confidence? No confidence means you do not have majority. First of all, who introduces the no confidence motion? No confidence motion is introduced by the opposition party against the government. Okay. So if the no confidence motion is passed, that means if the government failed to prove the majority, then automatically the government has to resign. So this is the correct answer is B. Okay. See, uh, do not take too much of burden if you are not able to understand immediately. I understand. It's okay. I just want to tell you that this is the type of question you will get in your exam. Come to the third question. The preamble to the Constitution of India is, can you answer it? Please, please, anybody, open to all. Somebody said that it is answer C. Any other answer? Okay. Any other? Pardon? Okay. I think other. Okay. Other students, are you able to see it? Okay. Then I think. So I'll request you to kindly check your some connection. Maybe you can disconnect and once again. Yes, yes. You can join again. Okay. Yes, please try to answer. Read the question. The preamble to the Constitution of India is a part of the Constitution but has no legal effect. Option B, not a part of the Constitution and has no legal effect. Option C, part of the Constitution has the same legal effect as any other part. Option D, a part of the Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts. What is the correct answer? Correct answer. Yes. Anybody else? Yes. Anybody else? See, the answer is option D. Okay, not the C. Understand, part of the Constitution has the same legal effect. No, it does not have the legal effect. Preamble is preamble does not have legal effect and is not other part. It is independent. Preamble is separate. Preamble does not have the legal effect and is independent of other parts. Okay. So see, these are the small straightforward questions. 1, 2, 3 questions are very straightforward. Let us go to a difficult question. This is the difficult question. With reference to the provisions contained in Part 4 of the Constitution of India, which of the following statements are correct? 1. They shall be enforceable by courts. They shall not be enforceable by any court. The principle laid down in this part are to influence the making of laws by the state. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Can you answer this? Yes, yes. Open to all. You are saying that D. According to you, it is B. First of all, what is part 4? Directive. Okay. Directive principle of state policies. Okay. Read the questions. They shall be enforceable. Are they enforceable? No, they are not enforceable. Okay, they are just a guiding principle to the government. Then second, they shall not be enforceable by any court. Understand, this is very important. You have to choose which is correct. They shall not be enforceable by any court. Yes, this is correct statement. Though it is negative in the form of the statement, but it is correct statement. The principles laid down in the part are influenced of making by the laws, by the state. Yes, as I told you earlier, that these are guiding principle of the government as to what type of law they should frame. So, what is the correct answer? Answer is D, 2 and 3 only. Okay, so look at this question. First 1, 2, 3 questions were very straightforward. There is one question and there are ABCD answer. And what about this fourth number question? It is bit of different. First it is making a statement, then there are certain statements 1, 2, 3, then they are giving you some options. One, only 2 or 1 and 3. or 2 and 3. So these are two different categories. This is one category, so category 1, and this is category 2. So these are the two different categories of questions you may face. Let us let us go to this simple question. Rajya Sabha has equal powers with Lok Sabha in option A, the matter of creating new All India service, option B, uh, amending the constitution, option C, the removal of the government, option D, making a cut motions. Your answer is B. Okay. Any other answer? Try to understand. It is saying the Rajya Sabha has equal power. Okay. In what perspective? The matters of creating new All India service. Who has the power? It is Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha can create All India service, not Lok Sabha. Yes, the correct answer is B, but I will skip it for the time being. Let's come to C. The removal of the government. Just a couple of minutes before, I have talked that it is Lok Sabha. That means Council of Ministers are accountable to Lok Sabha only. So if there is a no confidence motion passed in Lok Sabha, so the government has to resign. Making a cut motion again in Lok Sabha. What is the correct answer? B. That means while amending the constitution. How to amend the constitution? According to Article 368. When you amend the constitution, you have to pass the particular amendment bill separately in Lok Sabha and separately in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so that is the reason. Correct answer is B. Now let me come back for the time being. It's already 9:10 approximately. So let me come back to the class. Yes, can you see me, all of you? Yes, great, great, great. Now, see, as I told you in the beginning, I just showed couple of questions. These questions are already asked in the examination, and this is the exact type of question which you will be getting in your examination. Okay, so that means your level of preparation should be to answer this type of question. Do not go that in which year the first Constitutional Amendment Act was made, who has done what. Those questions are not relevant for your civil service examination, okay, majority of the times. So very specific conceptual clarity, and all these questions, when you read those questions, uh, if you mug up something, you may not be able to answer. So for that, you should absolutely need to have clarity of the information. And believe me, all these questions are not current affairs. All these questions are static. And all these questions, if you happen to read any one book, let's say Lakshmikar or any book, if you are following, it would be sufficient to answer this type of questions. Okay. So, as I told you in the beginning, not to judge in the first class uh, as to whether you can answer it. I just gave you an understanding to all of you that this is the level of question. So from the next class, I will directly enter into the subject, that means the chapter of Indian polity. Already I have given you this type of question. So my request to all of you would be kindly uh, download kindly download the previous year question paper, or if you can have it, it's good. If you do not have, kindly arrange those previous year question paper and just go through it previous year question paper. And believe me, it is extremely important to go through those previous year question paper so that you get to know this is the type of question which you face. Great. So we are in the end of today's class. If you want to ask anything, please ask. I'm sending in the message box. Please see. I'll also tell you. It is 76060242005. I repeat, 76060242005. This is the official number. Kindly send a hi to this WhatsApp number. I mean, those who have not received the PDF. Okay, can you do that? Okay. So kindly send a hi to this WhatsApp number. So we will send you those PDF copies and other informations. Great. I hope that you have learned something new today. Okay. Thank you. I will try to help you out. Okay, no problem. I will try to help you out as much as I can. And that is also WhatsApp number to get access to me. If you have any kind of questions, if you want to specifically ask to me, so kindly send a WhatsApp message to that number. Later on, I'll be able to reply back. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.